I don't eat during in the morning or at lunch because, see, I'm a professional. Just like singers don't eat because they don't want the blood running to the stomach, I don't eat because I don't want the blood running from my brain. And if you were just like standing at the desk, you won't do this. You shouldn't eat during the seminar, during the daytime. Because as small as your fucking pea brain is, you need all the fucking blood that can get there at once. But instead you, like a fucking pig. But don't listen. I understand. Just like your parents said, oh, fat babies are healthy babies. Well, that's all bullshit, right? Now they know fat babies are fuck babies. Nothing your mother ever told you is worth a shit. Oh, you can be anything you want to be, you little fuckface. Sure you can. Okay. The bicycle last night. The backward bicycle. What's the, other than...
Dan, your mum has just arrived.
Well...
How are you?
I'm not so good. I'm better than you. Sit down. Takeaway, other than the obvious, what's the takeaway in the backward bicycle?
I'm learning patterns.
Knowledge does not equal understanding.
Trapped by your mind. Trapped by your mind.
Your brain knows how to do it, but you haven't done it.
Yeah, intellectually, this process is easy. It's unconnecting the wires, the synapses, etc., that your parents and your education, etc., have done wrongfully, in my opinion, is the hard part. And the kid learned to ride the bike, what? And the adult? I would hope and pray to Allah that you get it in 8 months. I will be the happiest 71-year-old in Guthrie if you learn it in 8 months. And maybe, Greg, you can give a little dissertation on that later on in the week. Arguably, the more education you have, as I said, the harder it is. The more education you have, the harder it is. Because you've got so many other programs that your mind can drift off to. Now, I'm going to use a word, and while I'm thinking about it now, that I use ad nauseum until you're sick to your stomach during the rest of the week. Default. Now, virtually, is there anybody in here that's not computer literate or reasonably computer literate? Okay, everybody is, right? Just now. And I'm probably one of the most computer literate guys, 71-year-olds on the planet, because I've been on the internet scum business for 20 years since it started. But when you go to default, you go back to your comfort zone. And that's your default, it's your comfort zone. And that's what's going to happen. And some of you, I've heard, because the staff listens to you, there's some default talk amongst you. We might even call it mutiny. Because you don't believe. It can't be that hard, one of you said. I'm going to remember that. It can't be that fucking hard. I just chuckle. You have no idea how I chuckle. It is hard. Not intellectually. If I gave you a test today, probably everybody in this room would score 70 to 80. Some might even get 100 on what we've covered so far. Because it's not, there's no Einstein shit here, right? But if I gave you practice, like if this was a, not Shark Tank, but The Prophet, you know, those reality thing where you had to go out and do shit, half of you'd fail. Half of you'd fail, at least half of you, more than, maybe more. because you'd have to go outside your comfort zone to do certain things. And some of you are more capable of going outside your comfort zone. I didn't believe 30 plus years ago that you could stand on the corner of 6th and Madison, I think it was, and stand there and ask 100 women that walked by, would you sleep with me? And one would say yes. A guy that I was in business with a long time did this very thing. Now, for those of you that have heard me say this before, don't answer. How many women do you think he asked before one said, shit, looked at her watch, your place or mine, I got a couple hours. How many? Anybody else? 17. The 17th hot fucking babe. He got spit on, kicked, scratched, slapped. But the 17th, she was walking, I could close my eyes and see the slinky bitch. And she said, yeah, your place or mine, I've got a couple hours. Now, none of you guys have a couple hours in you. But because when I say in the 5 women we had here 2 seminars ago, a stiff drink and a good fuck could kill 99% of all men that walk the planet now. I'll say it again. A stiff drink and a good fuck would kill 99% of the men that walk the planet today. Because we don't have any men. And when we had the 5 girls here, boy, 100% a stiff drink and a good fuck would kill them. 17th. We had a guy here from Orange County many years ago that he used to go down. We used to let you off the campus in those years. We don't do that anymore because we got in a lot of trouble. Not we, you got in a lot of trouble when you get out into town. And so he started at one end of the bar and he just went down until he found somebody to say yes. And there are there are a lot of Viking blood up here. And so the women are more aggressive, putting it nicely. And he still talks about that. Because we don't let anybody off the ranch now, so nobody's ever going to be able to compete with that. But I mean, he makes the story sound like every seminar, like Michael. You know Michael. Okay. Yeah. Michael's the last group we let off the ranch. One of my mentees, a mini-me from the Netherlands, smart kid, used to be, I guess he still is, an actor. He had a TV show and da-da-da-da-da, good-looking guy. And I think he was the last group that we let off the campus. Yeah. And so you'll go to default. And to the extent that you go back to your area, first of all, you're going to go to your office, your home, blah, blah. It's going to help you go into default, unfortunately. And show me your friends and I'll show you your future, and you're going to go back to the same dipshits. If you go to sports bars, everybody know what a sports bar is? It's a bar where they have a lot of TVs with sporting activities, If you go back to the sports bar and you drink and belch and fart with your mates, that's what you're going to be doing 20 years from now. Drinking, belching, and farting with your mates. And the odds are, one of the hardest things will be for you when they call you up. We're going to go do such and such. We're going to go do such and such. We're going to take 3 days off. We're going to Portugal to play golf. Or we're going to take 3 days off and we're going to go to New York City to fuck around. Or we're going to go to Vegas to fuck around. You just say no. For those that, whatever, if I touched any of those buttons that are important to you, to say no. That'll be the hardest thing. And then the first 4 or 5 times you say no, fine. But the 5th or 6th, your wife or your significant other is going to say, why are we always saying no now? We never have any fun anymore. We don't have any fun. Because unfortunately, your significant others are the definition of default. I'll get hate mail for that for sure. It's not my fault that Ben wants to do that. I mean, I didn't make him do that. I didn't tell him we had to do that. I can just hear the whining now. Whine, whine, whine. Okay, what was one of the other ones we saw last night?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Tyson. What was the takeaway from Mike?
Quickness.
Leverage.
Correct, correct,
Technique.
correct,
Size doesn't matter.
correct,
Discipline.
correct,
Strategy.
You can't block a punch you don't see coming.
correct. Now, Mike Tyson just friended me on Twitter. Or not, what do you call it?
Facebook.
No, on Twitter.
Yeah, follows you.
Yeah. Why?
Maybe he knows if you.
Well, I've never, no, I have met him once before, a long time ago. I don't know. I don't want to tweet him and then, like the Pope, you know, I don't want that happening, you know. Okay, and what's the other one? We're going to leave Balmer. You saw Balmer last night, right?
Yeah.
But that takes a long time. So, was there another short one?
The Admiral.
There were two.
Oh, the admiral that gave the commencement speech.
Yes.
That's a great speech. That's a great speech, you know.
That makes you bed.
Yeah. And I think he teaches at the University of Texas now. And but it's a great speech about disciplines, the small things, making the corner on the bed, etc. And what was the other short one?
There was one with lions.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll talk more about that because I've done that. What they showed there, I've done. And I'll tell you my stories about the Maasai warriors and the some of the crazy shit I've done. And that's why I'm bionic, you know. Not because of none of those, the lions didn't make me bionic. It didn't eat anything of me, but certainly some other animals. Okay, YouTube, we'll talk to you tonight. Thank you.